very quickly because you're live in the market, right? You're not in trades for very long. So the average hours worked in different countries around the world. Is anyone here that works more than, say, 40 or 50 hours a week? Anyone here work more than 50 hours a week? Okay. Elizabeth, Jeff, Paul. Okay, there's a few people here. Yeah. Anyone work more than 60 hours a week? Wow. Okay. Tim? Yes. Tom? Yeah. Okay. Right. So there's a few people that work even more than 60 hours a week. So, that's 2,000 hours that people are working per year in the United States, right? And on average, around 2,000 hours a year. What about if we could take it down from 2,000 hours a year down to, say, 100? Who would be interested in that? Better yet, you could only work 100 hours per year and make 3 to 5 times your current income per year, right? So we're taking it from 2,000 hours down to 100 and making triple your salary that you're making now. This is what's on offer here. If you pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you, right? Stay engaged, listen to the opportunities we're about to give you. What's the big problem right now is that many people are running out of retirement money, okay? In Australia, women are running out of retirement money before the end of their lifetime, 12.6 years. Too soon, right? They're burning through all their retirement money. Men, 9.9 years. In the United States, very much the same thing. The UK, right? Japan, right? This same thing is happening all around the world. So what we have to be able to do is get our money working harder. And what better way to do that than use intraday trading, right? Getting in the markets, getting out of the markets with a small amount of money, small risk, and growing that account very quickly and generating that income. Now, that income is what you need in your retirement years. Time is precious. We don't need to be spending 2,000 plus hours a year working, right? And then that doesn't take into account the travel to and from work as well and everything else. You miss out on so much. So what we want to be able to do is understand that time is our most valuable resource. None of us know how much time we've got left. We want to spend it with the people that we love, doing the things that we want to do. Okay? So this is what intraday trading gives your time back to you. So picture yourself making money like this now. You wake up around 10 a.m. if you're in the UK. In Australia, wake up whenever you want. In the US, you're waking up around 8 a.m. Exercise, or maybe not, coffee and breakfast, do whatever you want for the day. You're only working 2 days a week, right? 2 days a week. You're never working on the weekends. The markets are closed. Just 30 minutes prep before the market opens. And within 1 to 2 hours, you've made anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 pounds, 1,200 to 2,400 US dollars in 1 to 2 hours. And then you can spend the rest of the time doing whatever you want with friends, family, and loved ones. This is what this skill set can give you. Pretty impressed. Yeah, some people saying I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, absolutely, right? You just need to know the strategies, right? You don't know what you don't know. So this is what we're talking about here. So when we're going through these strategies, we're showing you the live intraday trading, giving you the strategies. This is the lifestyle that you've got to have the vision for yourself, right? This is the vision that you want. How do you do this? Understand these strategies we're about to show you. So the ability to be able to make money while you're traveling, is that a goal? Why are you guys here? What's the main driving force for you guys? Why do you want to learn how to make daily income? What's the big motivating force? Put it in the chat for me. Travel, yes. Travel while you're making money, right? Because you can do intraday trading while you're traveling because you don't have to worry about overnight positions. That's another big aspect of this, right? You can travel from country to country, from city to city, and not worry about your account because you don't have any overnight positions. Traveling, family, yes. Be able to spend more time with family. Retire my husband. I like that one. Yes. Retire your husband. Look after the grandkids more, leave a legacy. Yes, absolutely. Uh, yeah, that's right. And to be able to fund your retirement so you don't run out of money. Yes, absolutely, right? And that's if you get your money working harder, you don't have to worry about running out of money in retirement. This is going to give you another business, another income stream that you can start generating income from. So you guys are very much like me, right? You're about family, you're about generating enough income so you looked after yourself and the people that you love, and you want to leave a legacy and be able to spend more time with the people that you want to spend time with. Here's an example of me actually going to Singapore, taking my wife there for a 2-week vacation while it was the Christmas period, right? And there I am with my wife and my son there, and we spent 2 weeks there, and I was intraday trading while I was in Singapore, right? Or wherever I am in the world, I'm able to do this and make money. That's the beautiful aspect of this. Any one of you can do this same thing. Now, the next 4 years, we know we have a new administration in the United States. Whether you love Trump or you hate him or you couldn't care less, that's not the point. What you are going to see is a golden opportunity for intraday traders. Why? There's a lot of volatility. Have already seen tariffs, we've seen wars, we've seen a whole range of different things, trade wars. We've seen a whole range of things already in the Trump presidency. And these big moves up and big moves down are going to present massive money-making opportunities if you understand intraday trading like I'm about to show you. So these next 4 years are going to be golden for intraday traders. Now, do you need a lot of money? No. Need to be able to read the markets, great setups, basic options knowledge. Buy a call option if it's going up. Buy a put option if it's going down, right? That's all you need to know as far as basic options knowledge. Again, day trading is one of the more simpler ways to trade. Great risk management, right? We're going to show you how we do this, a detailed day trading plan, and the ability to be able to make decisions within, say, 5 minutes. Pretty easy, right? If you went to your phone and you opened up your stopwatch and clicked go and you just sat there for 5 minutes, you realize 5 minutes is quite a long time, right? So you're not making decisions within seconds. We're talking a good 5 minutes here. Now, if you want to be able to make consistent money from intraday trading, right, while the market's live, you have to have keys to success. And one of those is making sure you're trading the right stocks, okay? You don't just day trade anything. That's not the way it works. You want to make sure you're only day trading the top 2% of stocks, right? The most efficient stocks in the markets. So we want speed, quality, and we want the cost to be lower, right? So we want to be able to get in and out of our positions very easily. How do we do that? Only trade the top 2% of stocks. Now, most stocks are rubbish for day trading, right? Absolute trash. There's 4,000 public companies, 25,000 different companies to trade worldwide. The big banks and brokerage firms don't care what you trade, right? They're getting brokerage. They don't mind what you do. But what we want to be able to do is understand just because a stock has an option attached to it doesn't mean we trade it, right? There's over 4,000 optionable stocks out there. 98% of them we're not interested in. We only want to trade the most efficient. The ones with the tightest bid-ask spread, okay, is very, very important, okay? And making sure we're only trading the very best that there is. We want to make sure we've got plenty of liquidity, plenty of open interest, volume, that type of thing, so that we can really make a lot of money here. So we need to look at how much volume each option chain has. We need to make sure that the actual stock itself has a lot of volatility can be one, because volatility is your friend when you're intraday trading. But we want volatility, we want volume, and we want large open interest. So the Chicago Board Options Exchange actually came in to help with this back in 2007. Their goal was to help option traders find the narrowest bid-ask spreads, the most liquid stocks, and by far the most efficient stocks to trade. Now, we're going to show you, as an intraday member, how you find these companies. There's around 250 of them. We only trade these 250 stocks, right? Not the 4,000 that's available, only 250 of them. And what we want to be able to do is narrow down that 250 to around 10 that we're looking at for the day to make money, okay? And we're going to teach you in detail how to scan for the top 2%, how the Chicago Board Options Exchange actually help you find that 250, that 2%, and then narrow them down for those 10 opportunities, 10 different stocks that you want to have available for when the markets open, right? So, imagine for a second having a huge advantage like this. Having an elite trader with 35 years market experience finding the top 2% of stocks for you, then giving you the top 10 stocks for the day to make money with before the market opens. Who thinks that would be a big advantage? Someone who's managed over $1 billion, right, has actually managed people's money over $1 billion, okay? A hugely successful trader with 35 years experience, if he was there with you live in the market, telling you what stocks to trade and when to do it, would that be a big advantage, do you think? Absolutely, right? It would put you ahead of 99% of traders out there. Now, pre-market data, right? What happens before the market opens? This can actually help you, okay? So we want to be able to look at what prices are doing before the market opens. Now, in the United States, the market opens at 9:30 a.m. New York Eastern Time and closes at 4 p.m. New York Eastern Time, right? That's called the regular trading hours. So pre-market, right, is sort of what we look at is between 8 a.m. New York Eastern Time and 9:30 a.m. when the market opens, right? That pre-market period. So we're looking at the normal pre-market period to get an idea of what's likely to happen when the market does open. So trading pre-market, we're not really interested in trading the pre-market, but we want to see what's happening in pre-market to give us a big advantage, to give us a head start for when the market does open. So in the pre-market, all pre-market trading is all done through ECN, right? The computer trading is very much what's happening here. The problem is that there's no market makers to stabilize the price. It really isn't a very good way to trade, right, before the market opens in pre-market. But what we want to be able to do is get like I say, a head start, to get ahead of the competition and react quickly to news announcement. Because Sean, what are we trying to do here with intraday trading? We are trying to look for stocks that have a reason or a catalyst to move for that day, right? That's what we're doing. Okay. So we want to be able to see which stocks have that reason, that ignition to take off either up or down when the market opens. Okay. So we can do this not with pre-market data, trading the pre-market, but using that pre-market data to give us a head start, right? We're not interested in trading the ECN pre-market, which is Electronic Communication Network. We're looking for when the market opens, right? And I'm going to show you exactly what we mean here, okay? So let me show you how this works. So using pre-market data helps you avoid bad day trades and get into ones that are going to make you money rapidly. So what are some of the catalysts that could see a stock move for the day? Well, it could be guidance from an analyst, right? A professional analyst could say, look, I think this stock is worth much more than what it currently is, right? There could be news impacting the stock, right? A major announcement of a new deal, for example, a new product, an analyst upgrade or an analyst downgrade, earnings report, press releases, even rumors can cause stocks to move up or down significantly for that day. So stocks that are gapping up or gapping down with heavy volume will tend to have more than their average daily move. Okay, so we want to be able to see this in real time. This is how I turned 2,700 into 110,000. Okay, so this pre-market data is very, very, very powerful. So this grayed out section here, can you guys see this grayed out section? Ross, Paul, yes, that's right. So this grayed out section, you can see it. Okay, great. So this grayed out section here is the pre-market data. This is before the market opens. Now, when the market opens, if it closes below the low, see the low here? We've got this level of support, okay? This level of support here in pre-market. Once it breaks that on the open, you're looking to make money on the downside. Even though this stock gapped up. It gapped up in pre-market. It looked like it was going to continue to move up. That's what all the amateurs think. But they've got to look at the pre-market high and low. This, even though it gapped up, broke the pre-market low. So it's going to pull back and move lower. We're able to make money on the downside. Now, this is without the pre-market data. Okay. Look at this big gap up. But if you put the pre-market data in, look at this, without the pre-market, with the pre-market. Does that give you a clear picture? Can you guys see that? So now we've got the high up here, pre-market, and the low down here, pre-market. Did it break the high or break the low? My friends, did it break the high or break the low here of the pre-market data? No. So what does that mean? That means that we don't trade it, right? We're not interested. Okay, so that really helps us. We can see here the stock gap down in pre-market. Once it breaks the pre-market low right here, we're looking to make a short, quick trade to the downside with a put option. Here's another example. Gap down, held a level of support in pre-market, and then broke that on the open, as soon as the market opened, right at 9:30. Look at that break. Nice move to the downside, making money very, very quickly. So can you all see how powerful that pre-market data is to give us an idea whether we should be entering the trade if it breaks the high with a call option, a low, a put option, or stays within the range of the pre-market, we don't do anything at all. Can everyone see how that's a big advantage? Yeah, a lot of people can say, great, fantastic. Yeah, right. So that's something that we use as well. Now, another thing that you want to do is obviously have some sort of game plan, right? What we do with our team and our top elite intraday trader who's managed $1 billion over 35 years experience, what we do is we actually start putting together the research prior to the market opening, okay? What are we looking for? We're looking for 4 things. News-related stories to trade on, charting patterns that are sticking out or setting up, what traders are keying off for that day, right? Is there a major news announcement? Will the Federal Reserve be speaking that day? Will the company be reporting earnings? Has there been an analyst upgrade or downgrade? What's happening with the overall economy, right? That type of thing. Aftermarket stories and price action from the day before. Now, if none of these help us find a trade, we'll wait for chart patterns to present themselves when the market's live, okay? So this is some of the research that we do, just to give you an idea of how this works. So at the time when we were researching this, we could see that cybercrime had doubled, right? There were a huge amount of incidents of cybercrime, right? This has certainly happened when the whole world was locked down in 2020 and everyone went online, right? Even businesses that were offline became online, right? So we saw cybercrime rise in a very big way. Damages from cybercrime hit 6 trillion just in that year that we were looking at this. So this was a really big deal. Okay, many companies affected by ransomware attacks where hackers come in and hold them to ransom, right? They lock down all their computer systems and say, pay us a ransom, otherwise we won't allow you to continue business. Now, if you're in a huge business making billions of dollars, that can cost you huge amounts of money. Sometimes they pay the hackers so they can go back to work again, right? This type of thing was happening, a lot of cybercrime. So what's a market that's going to benefit from that? What do you guys think? What's a market that's going to benefit from a huge increase in cybercrime? Obviously, cybersecurity companies. Yes, that's right, David. Exactly. Cybersecurity companies. So this is an area where we knew money was going to flow into, okay? And companies were looking to spend huge amounts of money, right? They're looking to spend $1 trillion from 2017 to 2021. Now, a bull flag is a very powerful pattern when we are intraday trading. We can see it makes a big move up, consolidates for a while, and then breaks out to the upside. So this is something we can use with our intraday trading, along with the research that we've done, knowing that money's flowing into cybersecurity companies. One of those companies that we had researched, right, with our team, with our expert trader, was FTNT, right? It was a large cybersecurity company, right? People were investing heavily in it, and it was certainly a company that had big catalyst to move up for this particular day. And you can see we did a very good long-term trade on this also, right? Huge move to the upside. Who would love to see this and how we made over $2,000 profit in just 2 hours? Who would love to see this? Wow, a lot of you guys, the energy in this room is incredible. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the love. All right, so let's come here now. And this is a software that allows us to actually see the trade step by step, click by click, so you can see exactly what happens. Now, we are going to use a really powerful indicator called a VWAP. Can you guys see that? VWAP, volume weighted average price. Now, the VWAP is your best friend when you are intraday trading. If we see a close strongly above the VWAP, the blue line that you can see there, the blue line, we are looking to place a trade, a call option trade, to the upside. If it closes strongly below that VWAP, we're looking to place a put option trade. Okay, so let's have a look at this real life trade here, and we are going to see what happens. So let's go ahead, and the market has opened. Ding, ding, right? So the market is open, and we have a green candle, but we can't do anything yet. We need to make sure it closes above the VWAP, the blue line, and the next candle closes above the VWAP as well, the blue line. Okay, so if the next candle closes above that blue line, we enter. Can everyone see that? Close, now the next candle. So we're going to buy a call option here. All right, so we've bought a call option here. See, GL, gain, loss. So you can see where that little red, little green arrow is here. That's where we entered. Now, our risk is from here to the blue line, here to the VWAP. Can everyone see how that's a very small risk? So if it closes below the blue line, we simply exit the trade. Who loves that? From here to here, that's your risk. Very small amount of risk here. And we're here live to make sure we don't lose too much money. Close the trade out straight away. So as soon as I've entered the trade, I come in here and set it up to close the trade out. So I've got my account set up, I've entered the trade, and now as soon as I set the trade up, I come in and set up the trade. So all I have to do is click enter and the trade's closed, right? Now, when would I close it, Sean? When would I close it? I would close it if this candle, okay, if this candle closes below the blue line, the VWAP, okay? Now, Sean, why did we enter the trade? Well, one candle closed above the VWAP and the second candle opened above the VWAP, the blue line as well. And also, we did our expert research. We knew that cyber security companies, huge amounts of money was flowing into them because there was massive amounts of cybercrime going on, right? So this is exactly what we do to find candidates, okay? Pretty simple, okay? Not that complex. And again, someone with 35 years experience managed $1 billion telling you when to get in, when to get out, okay? So we've entered here. If it closes below the blue line, we exit. If it remains above, we stay in the trade, okay? Now, this is 10 times faster than what the actual market is, 10x, right? This is 10 times faster. So this is, you can see how you've had plenty of time to do this. We've sped the market up 10x, and we still have plenty of time to be able to see this play out, right? So we're looking at this trade right now. We're seeing what's happening here. Now, what do you guys see here? Just see if anyone picks this up. What do you think's forming here? What's forming here? What do you guys think could be forming? Something we just spoke about. Yes. Paul, Tim. Exactly. Mia, that's right. It's a bull flag, okay? So this is a bull flag that's set up as well as it closing above the VWAP. If I see this break out above here, out of the bull flag, and it's still above the VWAP, I'm going to buy another call option because that's the second confirmation for me, okay? So let's see if that does happen. Now, if it closes below the blue line, I'll simply exit the trade. If it breaks out above, out of the bull flag, I'll then add to the position, right? So let's have a look and see what happens here. So we're seeing the market, and this is exactly how it works, right? This is what happens. We're looking at the market here. We've already bought one call option, and we're seeing whether we would add to the position if it breaks out of this bull flag. We've got the pole, and this is the flag here, okay? And this is what we do with our members. We're live in the market with them, okay? So we're looking at this trade, and we're starting to see now, if this candle closes above this upper candle here, if it closes here, we're going to buy another call option. Why? Because the bull flag is confirmed. There it is right there. So I'm going to buy another call option here, right? Execute a buy. So now we have two call options, right? We've got two call options. How do we know when to get out? Someone tell me in the chat, how do I know when to get out of this position? If it closes below the VWAP, the blue line, Sean. Yes, that's right, exactly. Deborah, that's right. Well done, Deborah. Fantastic. Colin, that's right, exactly. Yep, as soon as it closes below that blue line, right? So for the sake of time, we'll speed this up a little bit. Right? This is a real life trade that we did. This is exactly what we did. So breaking out of the bull flag, we've got two positions now. And we can see that this stock, because we did the research, because we knew where the money was flowing, because we lent on our expert who managed over $1 billion to help us, we can see that we're now starting to make some very good profits here. Okay. We're up around $900 in profit. Okay. So the trade's working out very nicely. Okay. It's starting to move up here. Now, because it's so far from the VWAP now, what I do at this point to help you guys really who wants to see how I would really manage this and how I did it? All right, let me show you. So what I would do now, because it's so far away from the VWAP, I don't want it to come all the way back here before I close it out. So what I now do is I actually add the 9 EMA, this red line. Can you see how that follows the price action much more closely? So once it starts breaking out strongly above the VWAP or below, we add the 9 EMA here. And if it crosses below that red line, that's when we exit, right? Because I don't want it to come all the way back here and take all my profit away, do I? Right? So does that make sense? Is everyone with me? Is that smart stuff? Yeah, this is exactly what we did live in the room, right? This is what our members did. So we're up over $1,000 US at the moment. Who's enjoying this? Is this the easiest $1,000 you've ever made? Yeah, absolutely, right? So we're looking at this now, and we're looking at the trade. Okay, we're still in the trade. Has it closed below the red line? Has it closed below the blue line? Well, no. Do I need to do anything? No, exactly, right? So we're still in the trade right now. It's moving up very nicely. And you can see here that it's continuing to move up. We're up over $1,700 in profit. If it closes below the red line, what do we do, my friends? We exit the trade. So I've got the trade ready to go. I've got $1,600 in profit. If it closes below, tell me to get out, guys. Oh, it hasn't quite closed right on, but hasn't closed below. Let's see if it closes below here. You guys tell me. Tell me when to get out. Is it going to close? Wait for it to close. Got to wait for it to close. Is it still with us? It's still with us right now. Could go green at this point. We'll wait and see. Let's see if it's going to close here. And it has. So we exit the trade, and the trade is done. We made 1,500 US dollars on this trade in just a couple of hours. Who loves this? Who absolutely loves making money like that? Now, if we were live in the market with you, actually doing this with you, who thinks that you could start to make some pretty big money with this? Absolutely, right? It is one of the most powerful ways to trade on the planet, okay? So it's absolutely huge. Yeah, you guys like that? Yeah, absolutely massive. No doubt about it. So that's exactly what we did with that trade, right? We had our research. We knew that cybersecurity companies was where all the action was. We saw it break above the VWAP. We placed the trade. We had a very small risk from where we entered to the VWAP, and then we managed the trade. As it continued to break out, we then added the 9 EMA to manage the trade and know exactly when to get out, and we got out of the trade for a very nice profit. So that VWAP that we just showed you there, who thinks that's pretty powerful? Is that relatively easy? What do you guys think? Relatively easy, right? And if you had someone there with 35 years market experience telling you when to get in, when to get out, and doing the research for you, who thinks you can make thousands of dollars a day doing this? A lot of people pretty happy with that, right? That's what we do, right? I love intraday trading, particularly when I'm traveling. I absolutely love this. So this VWAP, volume weighted average price, it's your line in the sand when you're day trading, okay? It works out all the buys, all the sells, and works out an average price, right? And it's represented by that line. And, this is a moving average that takes volume into consideration as well as all the buys and all the sells that have occurred. So it's your line in the sand for that day, okay? If it's above that VWAP, we're looking for a bullish uptrend. If it's below, we're looking for a bearish downtrend, okay? And you can see here, the VWAP here, it respects that VWAP and it was in an uptrend all day. Same on the downside. It closes below the VWAP. We can see it respected that and was in a downtrend for the rest of the day. So gap up. So you can see here a gap. Can everyone see that gap, the hole in the price there? So when a price gaps up like that or gaps down, it can present very powerful opportunities for you to make thousands of dollars very, very quickly. So the gap up and gap down trading strategy, I love this. And we do this one. The other one was on a 5-minute chart. This one's on a 1-minute chart. This is a breakout strategy where we're looking for a stock that's gapped up or gapped down, and we're looking for it to break out or break down. So let's have a look at this, right? Is there a way of screening for stocks that are gapping up or gapping down before the market opens, to know about it ahead of time? Absolutely, right? That's what we teach you, how to scan for these, right? So we saw CRWD, that was up in pre-market over 13%. We actually were able to manage this trade. It gapped up significantly, as you can see, big gap up, okay? We put a line on the top of the first 1-minute candle and a line on the bottom of the first 1-minute candle. If it breaks above the 1 minute, we enter a trade. Here's the same thing here, MRNA. We can see it had gapped up in pre-market, right? And we have a look at this. Look at the gap up. Can everyone see the gap up here? So what do? Once it gaps up, we have a potential candidate. Doesn't mean we enter, but we have a potential candidate. We now put a line on the high of the first 1-minute candle and a line on the low on the first 1-minute candle. We enter once it breaks above the upper line. Okay. So when it gaps up, we only enter trades that break above the upper line. When it gaps down, we only enter trades that gap or move below the lower line. Does that make sense? Is everyone with me? So gap up, if it doesn't break the upper line, we're not interested. If it gaps down, if it doesn't break the lower line, we're not interested. Okay, so in this case, we can see it's clearly gapped up and it's broken above the upper 1-minute high here and actually had a beautiful move to the upside. Okay, over $7,000 in 1 hour on that trade. Here's another example. Gap down. We put a line on the high and the low of the first 1 minute. Once it breaks the low here, what then do we do, my friends? Once it breaks this lower line here with a gap down. Yes, that's right. Yes, exactly. Elizabeth, yeah, that's right. We're buying a put option, right? We're buying a put option here, looking to make money on the way down, right? Just a great setup there. Entered, made over 30,000 US dollars in an hour from that trade. So stocks that gap up and gap down using this 1-minute breakout strategy, you can make very good money very quickly. Who would love me to show you how this works with the exact trade that we did, candle by candle, like I just showed you? Who would love to see it played out? All right, let's do this. Let's do it. A lot of people excited about this. Candle by candle, click by click. So we have a look at this, right? The market is open. Ding, ding. Okay, so the market's open, and this stock has, we can't see the actual prior day, but there's actually gap down. Okay, so we've got a line on the high of the first 1 minute and a line on the low of the first 1 minute. If this closes below the lower line, what do we then do, my friends? We're going to buy a put option, right? So we're going to buy a put option right now. We're going to buy 2 put options. Bang. We're now in the trade, short, executed short, right? Looking to make money on the way down, okay? Now, when would we exit? When would we exit the trade? Let me just... If it closes above the VWAP, right? The blue line. Yes, you guys are really getting this. I love this. Switched on, sharp, you're with it, right? Who's enjoying this so far? Sean, I love this. I can see what's happening in real time, make money in real time. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing. I love intraday trading, no doubt about it. If it closes above the blue line, I exit my put options. Okay? I exit my put options. And I've got my trade set up. So all I have to do is click on submit and I close the trade out. Yeah. It is a thing of beauty. So we can see this is moving down nicely. We're up over $3,000 right now, my friends. Real life trade. This is exactly what we did. So it's moving down. If it closes above the VWAP, the blue line, we exit the trade. This was a brilliant trade that we did, right? And again, the same principle applies if you were to start doing it right now. Okay, that's why we're showing it to you. So we can see this is moving very, very nicely. Now, is it a bit too far away from the VWAP? What do you guys think? It's really breaking down hard, isn't it? Right? It's really breaking down hard here. What should I now add to follow the price more closely? Yes, the 90 MA. Wow, you guys are very switched on. Yeah, the 90 MA, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the red line because it's following the price more closely now that it is moved too far away from the VWAP, okay? Now, it's closed above. What now do we, now we did close it out. We can see there over $3,000 profit, and we've exited the trade. Sean, is it normally that fast? No, we've got it 10 times faster than the market, right? So that trade on just a couple of contracts made you over 3,000 US dollars in 24 minutes. Who'd love to make 3,000 US dollars in 24 minutes? Now, you didn't find the trade. Someone else found it for you. Someone told you when to get in, and someone told you when to exit the trade. 3,000 US dollars in 24 minutes. Exactly. I agree. Life-changing. Very, very powerful, right? So that's how that works, right? Now, do you just look at candlesticks when you're doing this? No, we want to be using a secret price action that helps smooth out the noise, right? We don't want to be giving in to a lot of noise here. We want to be looking at things so that we can see the trend much more clearly. Who's ever been in a trade where it's, say in an uptrend, for example, and you get big red candles within the trade that you're doing, within the uptrend, and it makes you a bit fearful because you're like, oh, goodness me, I thought it was going down. Has anyone ever had that experience? Yeah, right, a few people. But what about if we could use this secret price action here so it smooths out the trend and doesn't present the red candles until such time as it is actually going to move down? Would that make it easier for you to stay in the trade? Could you make more profits? Would you have more confidence? Right? Look at the difference. This is without the secret price action, and this is with. A very, very big difference. I think you'd have to agree. So that's without the price action, and this is with. Look how clear that is. It's like night and day, isn't it? So this secret price action is very powerful to smooth out trends. What does it do? Like I say, it helps you stay in trades for longer, right? Very, very powerful. Then we get two candles of the opposite color, right? So we've got two candles of the opposite color, and we then exit the trade, right? So the secret price action is what we use with our day trading as well. Now, something else I want to make you guys aware of is this. When you look at these top traders, right? These pit floor traders, market makers, these type of people that really control the markets, can you notice that they're not really looking at just stock charts? Can you guys see that? In fact, in these photos here, we're not actually seeing any stock charts at all. So Sean, if they're not looking at stock charts, what are they looking at? The price action, what people are buying and what they're selling, the actual numbers. Does that make sense logically, my friends? To know how many people are buying and how many people are selling? Well, yeah, it does, right? So this is very, very powerful for us, and it's called reading the tape. Order flow analysis. What is it in English? It's seeing the buy and the sell orders in real time. Now, reading the tape is what they used to call it back in the day, and you can see this gentleman here is actually reading the tape, right? The buy and the sell orders as they come on to the stock market, right? And actually seeing what's happening in real time. So what we want to be able to do is do the same thing. We want to see the actual buy and sell orders in real time to be able to make very smart decisions to help us make a lot more money. Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest traders, the father of momentum trading, he used to read tape all the time, right? He's a very prominent trader. And this is something that many of the very elite traders in the world are able to do. Now it's not called reading the tape, it's called the electronic order book. And it looks something like this, right? Where you've got a bid and you've got an ask and you've got a size, right? The amount of stock that is being bought or sold. So this is something that we can use here, right? Looking at the buy and the sell orders with the electronic order book, right? Reading the tape. So we also look at level 2 data, which shows us how many people are buying, how many people are selling. Are they buying on the bid, selling on the ask, whatever the case is? And time and sales, right? So if we can see the time that the orders are being filled and the size amount, who thinks that might give us an advantage? If you're in a call option trade and you see $1 million worth of shares being bought at the ask price, the most expensive price there is, would that give you a lot more confidence to stay in the trade or add to your trade maybe? Yeah, right? That's what we're talking about here. So we want to be able to see the orders in real time using level 2 and time and sales together. Now, the problem is this can be quite difficult for a lot of people to actually analyze this as the markets are opening. So what we want to be able to do is use someone with 35 years market experience, someone who was a market maker, right? He made the actual market, right? He was a market maker, sorry, a market maker. And he actually took the buy and the sell orders to provide liquidity. So not only was this person a market maker, but they actually, working on the inside of markets, but they also managed over $1 billion and 35 years experience. We let him do it, right? But you can learn this for yourself as well. So what we want to see when we're looking at these orders, right? Seeing the orders come in, buys and sells, we want to look for buy or sell orders that are greater than 300 to 400 shares in size. So remember that number, 300 to 400 in size. Let's see how this works and why it gives us such a big advantage. So this was our APPN trade, right? Remember the one that gapped down? Okay, we just made the money on it. I showed it to you how it worked out. So we can see here we've got a high and a low on the first 1 minute candle. It broke the low and it broke the low with good volume here, right? We see 1,100 orders being sold at the bid, right? Red, sold. And another one down here, over 1,000 sold at the bid. Now, what were we looking for? What was the numbers that we were looking for? Between what and what? Zach, exactly. Between 300 and 400. Well, we've got over 1,000 here, 500 here, 1,000 here. So this is quite a lot of people selling, okay? Now, as it starts to break down, have a look at this. We're starting to see a bear flag here. Do we want to stay in it? Do we want to add to our position? Well, have a look at this. 3,000 orders here at the bid. People wanting to get out at the lowest price. We don't care if it's the lowest price. We just want to get out, right? So they're selling. And another 7,000. What are we looking for? Between 300 and 400. So this is a lot of selling going on. That's 10,000 shares that are being sold, okay, at around $177.44, okay? So we're talking about $1.8 million of selling in that 2-second period. That's a lot of selling. So what does that mean? That means we can buy more put options and make more money because more sellers are going to drive the price lower. What happens? The price goes from 177.60 to 163.62 in 10 minutes. It has a big fall. So this is a huge advantage. Who can see the massive advantage in having an expert with 35 years market experience, someone who was a market maker, worked on the inside of markets, doing this for you in real time? Can you guys see the advantage there? Absolutely huge. Now, what we now see is 5,000 orders, 1,000 orders, ask, buying. So if you're in a trade that's going down and you're seeing 6,000 shares being bought at the most expensive price, the ask, what should you think about doing with your position? Exiting your bearish position. So it's been moving down, been making a lot of money. We're looking for a reversal now because we're getting huge orders coming. Look at this, 4,260 shares being bought. time to get out. What happens? It has a move up. So this is the real secret. This is where you really take things to another level because you're using the charts and you're using the actual buy and sell orders, the time and sales and the level 2. Can everyone see how that, with someone with 35 years market experience who used to do it for a living, is going to make you phenomenal amounts of money? Can you guys see that? It is huge, right? So imagine being in a live room with a market maker, like I said, with over-the-counter stock options and 35 years experience who managed $1 billion doing it for you. It gives you an unfair advantage here. This is why members make so much money doing this, because they have elite level, world-class traders in the room with them live. That's right, in the room with them live. Opening range is something else that we help you with, right? Where a stock has given you a defined range on the open. And this is how one of our members made over $8,000 in profit in a day. We saw the NASDAQ dropping, okay? So Google, what do we do? We put a high on the first 30 minutes of the day and a low on the first 30 minutes of the day. When it breaks the low, we look to take a put option position, right? Making good money. But we have to make sure that the index and the sector that the stock belongs to is moving down as well, right? Because it's got a flow-on effect. You don't just look at the stock by itself. That's how we made over $8,000 in profit. Is that incredible, my friends? Make over 8,000 US dollars in a day. There's his account right there. Pretty amazing, right? Now, trading real-time news. If a actual news announcement came out